Are you living in your head? Are you stuck in life? No, you're stuck in your head and thoughts. Today's exploration is about mindfulness, how to stop overthinking, build mental strength and mental control, and finally experience real inner peace. If you want self-mastery, confidence building, and a real-life change, this is the shift. Stop living in thoughts and start living in reality. That is where clarity, emotional control, and personal growth actually happen. You are living in your head. Right now, most people are not living life. They are thinking about life. You wake up and your mind is already running. You replay conversations. You imagine future scenarios. You worry about what people think. You analyze your own behavior. You predict outcomes that have not happened. You create problems that do not exist. And then you call it personality. You call it being thoughtful. You call it being careful. It is not. It is overthinking. Overthinking feels productive. It feels like you are solving something. But in reality, you're just looping the same thoughts again and again without action. And here's the truth you need to accept. Overthinking is not intelligence. It is lack of mental control. The real problem, lack of mental control. If you had real control over your mind, you could stop a thought when it is useless. You could focus when needed. You could stay present instead of getting dragged into imaginary situations. But right now, your mind controls you. That is why you feel tired without doing anything. That is why social anxiety feels heavy. That is why shyness becomes worse. That is why even small decisions feel exhausting. Because you are living inside your head instead of the real world. Two worlds you live in. There are two worlds you live in. The real world and the mental world. The real world is simple. You talk to someone. You do a task. You walk. You eat. You work. The mental world is where you imagine what they think about you. You replay what you said. You predict how things might go wrong. You create stories. Most people spend more time in the mental world than the real one. That is the root problem. If you want self-improvement, disciplined mindset, and real personal growth, you do not start with habits. You start with where your attention lives. Mindfulness, the shift that changes everything. Right now, your attention is trapped inside your thoughts. So the goal is simple. Bring your attention back to reality. That is mindfulness. Not some complicated practice. Not sitting for hours. Just this. Being aware of what is actually happening instead of what your mind is creating. Next time you are walking, notice your mind. It will start talking. Random thoughts, past memories, future worries. Now shift your attention to your feet touching the ground, to the sounds around you, to your breathing. That shift right there is mindfulness. And that is how you stop overthinking. Why you overthink? There are three main reasons. First is lack of action. When you do not act, your mind fills the gap. It keeps thinking because nothing is happening in reality. Second is fear, especially fear of judgment. This is where shyness and social anxiety grow. You think about how others see you. You imagine negative outcomes. You rehearse conversations in your head. Third is lack of mental discipline. Your mind has never been trained, so it runs freely. It jumps from one thought to another without control. How to build control over your mind? Step 1. Awareness. You cannot change what you are not aware of. Start noticing when you are inside your head. Are you replaying something again and again? Are you imagining future conversations? Are you stuck in what-if scenarios? The moment you notice it, do not judge. Just label it. Say in your mind, thinking. That is it. This creates distance between you and your thoughts. Step 2. Grounding yourself. When you catch yourself overthinking, bring your attention to something real. Your breath, your body, the environment. If you're talking to someone, focus on their words, not on what you will say next, not on how you look. Just listen. This alone can reduce social anxiety massively because anxiety lives in imagination. Confidence lives in presence. Step 3. Take action immediately. Overthinking cannot survive action. If you are thinking about sending a message, send it. If you are thinking about starting something, start small. If you are thinking about talking to someone, just say one simple line. Action cuts through mental noise. This is where disciplined mindset comes in. You act even when your mind is noisy. Step 4. Control mental loops. Give your mind a boundary. If you need to think about something, set a time. 10 minutes. Think clearly. Write it down. Decide. After that, stop. Do not keep looping. This builds mental control. Step 5. Reduce mental input. Your mind is overloaded. Too much content. Too many opinions. Too many comparisons. You scroll, you watch, you consume, and then your mind keeps processing all of it. Reduce that. Give your brain space. Silence is not empty, it is where clarity comes from. Emotional control, the missing piece. Overthinking is not just thoughts, it is emotions attached to those thoughts. Fear, anxiety, doubt. If you try to suppress such emotions, they get stronger. Instead, allow them without feeding them. Feel the emotion in your body. Do not create a story around it so that those thoughts won't have roots to feed from. This is real mental strength. Dark psychology of your own mind. Your mind is not always on your side. It wants comfort. It wants safety. It avoids risk. So it creates thoughts that keep you stuck. Do not do this. What if you fail? What will people think? It sounds like protection, but it is actually limitation. Self-mastery means you question your own thoughts. Confidence comes from presence. Confidence is not thinking you are great. Confidence is not needing to think at all. When you are present, you act naturally. You speak without overanalyzing. You respond instead of rehearsing. That is real confidence. The core truth to remember. If you remember only this, you will change. Thoughts are not the problem. Attachment to thoughts is the problem. Attention is the solution. Where your attention goes, your life goes. Daily system to build mental clarity. Morning. Do not touch your phone immediately. Sit for 5 minutes. Just observe your breath. During the day, catch yourself drifting into thoughts. Bring it back. Even if you do this 10 times, it is progress. Evening. Reflect. Where did you overthink? Where did you stay present? No judgment. Just awareness. Real life transformation. Most people think changing life means big actions. But a real transformation is internal. When your relationship with your mind changes, everything changes. Situations may stay the same, but your experience becomes lighter. That is inner peace. You will not eliminate overthinking completely. That is not the goal. The goal is control. The goal is awareness. The goal is choosing when to think and when to stop. That is self-control. That is self-mastery. So the next time you catch yourself lost in thoughts, remember this. Come back right now, because your life is not in your head. It is happening in front of you.